Don't forget to like and subscribe before you do start this video. See you right now. Ashton here, servicing animation information, and today we'll be reviewing the anime Hetalia. Just kidding. Today we'll be reviewing the anime Mob Psycho.
Here. I've got this! Salt Splash! This is one of Reigen's special attacks, where he violently throws table salt everywhere.
This is just regular old salt, you buffoon. If it's not purified, it's not gonna work.
Impossible! I heard that spirits were totally weak against any kind of salt. Well, if salt won't melt this guy down, I'll just call my ultimate weapon. Hey, Mob, sorry, do you think you could swing by? I'm being serious here. Evil spirit's right in front of me. The client and the evil spirit are both waiting, so you'll need to hurry, okay? Cool, thanks. Huh? Hey, Mob! We were waiting for you.
So after the salt, you're sending in a middle schooler? Get your...
He is Shigeo Kageyama, also known as Mob, an actual psychic mentoring under the questionable expertise of Reigen Arataka, who also happens to be the protagonist of this story.
Master, I asked you not to summon me on such short notice.
Mob Psycho 100 follows the strictly average schoolgoer Shigeo Kageyama, also known as Mob. Mob partnered with his famous, not so famous, not psycho, psychotic friend, Ringen, is actually the head of a spiritual consulting business, which goes around town dealing with all of these spirits that may or may not be there and exercises them accordingly. Reigen is known to have these psychic powers that actually is able to dispel these spirits and their energy and take care of everything, everybody's complaints that they have, gets paid, rakes in the money, gives Mob a cut after he's actually the one taking care of the spirits, and gets all the credit. The story follows them more of in like this comedic humor where the whole joke is Mob is this really powerful esper who can actually control things with his mind. He can fly. He has so much spiritual energy. It actually can consume other spirits in the blink of an eye in a snap. Meanwhile, Ringen, who is supposed to be this all-powerful esper spiritual person, has no powers whatsoever. Zero. None. In fact, this is the ongoing gag, as when you're watching the show, you're constantly reminded of this as the case. Whether it's more serious moments towards season 3, where you're getting more introspective thoughts of Mob, or the first season, where you're getting more of a story based on Mob and all of his antagonists around him. Partnered with his brother and some other friends that also come along, you get a really good developed story out of this really flashy and funny story. Season 1 actually puts Mob to the test in terms of this antagonist sort of feel, all of these adventures that he's going on. It's pretty episodic towards the beginning until you meet Claw, this big gang who's actually out to destroy an entire world. I don't know, it's really funny. Go watch it. You see Mob's psychic powers really get put to the test, this 0 to 100 Mob. You look forward to it. It's explosion time. It's a pounding time. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. Really good. The second season is to kind of meld in a lot of humor and to kind of follow Mob throughout his personal life, engaging in more of the body improvement club that he joins, engaging more of his psychic club that he joins, and you get a lot of this funny stuff that comes out of it. In fact, who wouldn't want to start this series with a giant piece of broccoli that came out of the sky and all the spiritual energy that comes out of it? I mean, oh man, what kind of humor is this? It's honestly wild. The third season is a lot more introspective. You get a lot of Mob's personal takes. You get how hard it is being a child, how hard it is to grow up, how hard it is to actually fit within society. It does a really good job of just showing Mob's character development and where he's developed from season 1 to where he is. The dynamic between him, Dimple, Ringen, this girl that he's in love with, his brother, his family, everybody around him who sees him as a literal god, yet he's struggling with the basic necessities, which is communicating, how to fit within society and being a kid growing up within this ever-moving society. Yeah, it's very captivating. I can definitely relate to it. There's a lot to be said from 3 seasons and one of the funniest shows I've ever seen that's able to turn off the funny button, yet turn it back on when it's reminding you of the joke that's always standing. Mob is ultra powerful with these struggles. Irony, sarcasm, one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. It's flashy. The animation is so simple, yet so colorful. You get to see a lot of what Mob's inner thoughts is physically through this beautiful animation. Such good story writing, such good ideas and use of this animation, yet it's so simple. You're not using a big studio or big flashy lights all the time. You get a lot of, again, those movements, those ideas from Mob himself. Man, oh, what a good show. There are so many highlights to point out about this series as well. From the storytelling, characterization, and plot, each character has their own abilities and their own ideas. You're not just given Mob with this 100% godlike ability. You're given other people who believe that they have these same infatuations with themselves. Yet again, the ongoing joke, Mob all powerful, yet just a normal, middle, average road, worse than average physically person. It's beautiful, humorous. Again, good characters to support Mob, good side characters to be on the support with Mob as well, and the characters just add on to the plot even harder. Man, from the crazy alien, the freaking flashing lights, or the destroyed, devastated building, and to find peace inside something like that. The humor is there, the jokes are there, the broccoli, the claw, the person who thought he was a god who is not a god, Dimple. There's so much to be said with so many little tasteful jokes. Everything is beautifully written. This should be a whole comedy session that I could watch for 2 hours live on stage with colorful animation. Mix of humor in the right places, just add everything to the plot that needs to be there. It encaptures empathy to Mob as well, through the joke humor side of it, to the world, showing Mob a reflection of what he is and who he is, constantly questioning, is he making right decisions as a child? And it's mixing in this humor perfectly. It's you know what kind of show you're gonna get into just based off literally the plot. It's Reagan taking himself seriously in his business. It's Mob taking himself seriously in this Esper godlike sort of form that he's constantly in. Yet the ongoing joke is the underlying tone. This story, the setup is near perfection. It sculptures this beautiful image of these antagonists and the characters around Mob just to get these flashy lights that add on just the little cherries that need to be there. And what makes it even better is from season 1 and season 2, it is foreshadowing Mob's inner psyche to figure out who he is in himself through season 3. The story writing is near perfect. The plot is near perfect. These little details that kind of come underneath all of these ideas is what really pushes and drives that season 3 to just be explosive. Super necessary, yet it's still funny in some ways. What's so good about season 3 is you get this huge buildup to Mob and what he's doing and his own inability. The last joke is in such good taste, so classy and so classic. You've seen it 100 times, and it just puts the cherry on top with the last buildup. So carefully, so preciously, it executes flawless, if not near perfection. Again, Broccoli, season 2, you'll know if you've seen it. It's ridiculous. It's funny. Huge. The development's near perfect. The narration is spot on, from the sarcastic narration to automatically it's like connecting the idea that Mob is already this god, and the sarcasm that comes from the narrator's voice is reminding you of that. Everybody is playing their specific roles from in the story and out of the story to capture this near beautiful, flawless story. It's spontaneous, it's fun, it's balancing all of these things on this fine little needle. Story, characters, humor, beautifully. It's near perfect how they're executing this stuff. And to top it all off, one of the best parts is just the morals that come out of it. Not only is it balancing this humor and all of these characters with the plot, you're getting the best morals, the best ideas, the best thought-provoking. What's the best thing you can get out of from anything in life? In my opinion, self-acceptance, understanding the things that you do, human connection within yourself, human connection with other people, and being able to accommodate to those accordingly. I mean, we all have that inner thoughts or those inner monologues that strive us to want to be better, or how do we be accepted in this community? And this show does such a good job of encapturing those details. I need to see more from this. I need to see season 4. Wow, this author is fantastic. The animators behind it even better. I mean, yeah, there's enough to be said from all the attention that it gets, all the flashing lights. It makes me excited thinking about it every single time I do. If anything, the story does get a little convoluted sometimes, and you're seeing a lot of claw, and it's that fine balancing act, which is really hard to do, needless to say. Yet it's like you kind of forget what happened from then, and you're already moving on to the next joke or the next plot. Not that it ever comes back to it, but sometimes they just don't really connect 100%. It's a near perfect plot, near perfect characters. I love this show. I am very infatuated with this show. Season 3 was a bomber, and 8+. It's not an 8+. I wrote down 8+ thinking it was that funny. It's a 9. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. Fantastic in every way. I need season 4 to come out so I can get some more conclusion out of more story you want to see more of, and you just can't get enough of Mob and characters. One of the best characters ever written, some of the best side characters ever written in Rengen. Great character development. One of the best developed characters in my opinion, all of anime, all of story writing, and to see a self-reflection in your own flaws, understanding who you are, taking that in and being the best you can for yourself and everybody else around you, that's tough. And that's a tough reality to face sometimes. And I believe Ringing is a perfect example of encapturing that. Man, 9. Beautiful show. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Cisco Bang. If you did like this episode of Cisco Bang, please do subscribe, drop a like, and drop a comment on one of your favorite videos that you have seen recently. Also, contest is still up. We have a week, I believe. We have about a week until this contest is done with. And then that Monday, I will be announcing the winners of who is going to get the grand prizes, $50 of anime merchandise coming your way. Forever, always, Mob Psycho, Cisco Bang, Ashton, Hatalia, Ashton. Keep watching anime, keep reading it, sub-dub. We'll catch you in the next video and hope to see you then. Man, Mob Psycho. Whew!